whatever we have to do.
Tonight, police were throwing the first rounds of tear gas.
Every evening, we are focused on finding and telling the truth and earning your trust.
You traveled the whole way with your son?
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
CBS47 Action News Jax at noon begins with breaking news.
Breaking news right now, a live look from Sky Action News Jax where 4 crew members trapped on a capsized cargo ship are alive. Coast Guard rescuers on the ship as we speak. In the last 45 minutes, the Coast Guard confirmed they have made contact with them and are working to get them free from the Golden Ray ship near St. Simon's Island. Those crew members have been trapped on that ship for nearly 36 hours now. This is Action News Jax at noon. I'm Phil Amato.
I'm Letitia Barriola. Let's get you caught up on the very latest here. Guardsmen have drilled a hole through the ship's hull. The Coast Guard says early indications are the 4 missing crew members, they're okay. Right now, rescue crews are planning the safest way to extract the crew members. Action News Jax has live team coverage on the rescue operation and what went wrong 2 days ago. We begin with Action News Jax Elizabeth Pace, who joins us live in St. Simon's Island. Elizabeth, you're seeing those crews right now stabilize that ship.
Right now, they're trying to drill a hole on the hull of the ship. It's on the other side that we can see. Now, Sky Action News Jax is actually up in the air to give us an aerial view of the ship right now. Last check, we saw the crews are on top of that ship trying to find their way into it right now. Now, we do know that they posted a video of their efforts on their Twitter page, and in that video, it was right after they say they made contact with 4 of the remaining crew members. The Jacksonville Coast Guard contact told me that salvage crews drilled a hole through the hull of the ship. Then they used a bore scope to see them. Now they're still working to make contact with all 4 members. So far, they say their conditions are unknown. Now for hours, I've watched salvage crews try to find a way into the ship. Around 8:30 this morning, we watched the rescue helicopter drop off crew members onto the boat. Other boats circled around the ship. They say they're working to stabilize. It's a really important part of this dangerous rescue mission. Neighbors who live in St. Simon's Island say that they've never seen anything like this here.
It's scary. First of all, there's the immediate concern that we all have about 4 lives still being on board and hoping they're safe.
Now, I also talked to the local riverkeeper who told me it could take weeks or even months to get this ship back out of the water, and how she also says there's impacts for the local economy and environmental concerns. I'll have that report for you for ahead at 5. Reporting live in St. Simon's Island, Elizabeth Pace, CBS47, Action News Jax.
Action News Jax Ben Becker continues our live team coverage now at the St. Simon's Island Pier. And Ben, a maritime expert tells you this may have happened because the cars could have shifted in the cargo hold.
That's right. I'll give you another look at this ship that's behind me right now. It's massive, more than 600 feet long. And if you do the math, that's the length of 2 football fields. So imagine being at a Jags game, you're at one end zone, you look through to the other end zone, then beyond that to another end zone. So that is the size of this ship. It holds about 4,200 vehicles, and that's what it has. That's what it had in it. It had many cars. It was headed to Baltimore from Jacksonville, from this area, from St. Simon's Island. I'd like to welcome in right now maritime expert Rod Sullivan. Rod, when you look at this ship currently, what's your takeaway?
Well, I mean, it's sitting right on the edge of the channel there. Where the ship is, the water goes from 17 to 29. So what it did is it came to rest right on the side of the channel by buoy number 19. Now, what happened here is the ship was coming out from Colonel's Island, and it needs to make a turn to right, starboard, in this particular area, and for some reason it ran aground.
So why do you think it's possibly the vehicles shifted inside?
Yeah, look, ships run aground all the time. It doesn't make the news. It's not a big deal. This ship capsized, and that is a big deal. And the only explanation I can come up with that is that the cargo inside the ship shifted. It wasn't properly lashed down. It put all the weight on one side, and it caused the ship to roll over.
Any other possibilities?
Oh, you know, I have a difficult time thinking of anything that would cause the ship to capsize other than shifting cargo. I mean, could it happen if there was a tremendous imbalance in ballast or fuel? Yeah, but you would have noticed that leaving the dock 5 miles ago. So why did it happen right here?
The 4 gentlemen who are still in there, what do you believe they were doing at the time and why they got trapped?
Look, nobody's quite sure, but they're four South Korean officers. My belief is that they were in the engine room trying to shift ballast and to shift fuel at the time that the vessel was listing over to one side, and they just couldn't get out. They waited to the very last minute, and when the vessel actually flopped over, there was no way for them to climb out of the engine room. There are no ladders going starboard and port. The ladders go up and down.
And right now, they're trying to get out. I mean, they're looking up, almost like taking your door in your room at your house and putting it up in the ceiling. That's what it's like.
Exactly. Imagine being in your room and trying to get out the door. The door might be 8-10 feet high. You can't get there. Well, in this ship, the doors might be 90 feet away. And there's no vertical way to get up there. You need somebody to come in, lower you ladders, lower you lines, Stokes baskets, whatever it takes to lift you up to the deck level and free you.
What's the air situation in there like?
Well, there's plenty of air, but right now it's filled with fumes from diesel fuel, from lubricating oil. So they're not going to run out of air, but it's sort of a noxious environment. My guess is that the batteries are dead on their flashlights, so they're in complete dark. They have no source of fresh water, and they haven't eaten for over a day. So while none of these conditions are fatal, they're certainly unpleasant.
All right, Rod, thank you so much. We appreciate that. So again, the situation here is developing. Have much more later today at 5 and 6. Reporting live from St. Simon's Island, Ben Becker, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
Great information there. Thank you very much, Ben. To give you a little perspective, too, on how long it could take to upright this cargo ship, you may remember these images of the Costa Concordia, a cruise liner that ran aground and overturned near Tuscany, Italy, back in January 2012. 32 people died. It took about 2 years for the 114,000-ton ship to be upright and another several months before it was moved to be scrapped. Action News Jax, of course, will follow and update this story for you throughout the afternoon and into the evening. For updates straight to your phone, you can download the Action News Jax mobile app. You can also head to our website, actionnewsjax.com.
Today, survivors of a massive apartment fire in July were surprised with new furniture after losing everything. Action News Jax had in-depth coverage of the Callaway Cove apartment fire this summer. 12 families managed to escape this. New at noon, Action News Jax Jamarlo Phillips shows us the Hope to Dream program, how it's helping these families get back on their feet.
Life is getting better for some fire victims in Moncrief.
Some of the children 8 weeks later are still in the hospital from their burns.
Just a short time ago, a fire gutted through this apartment complex. 5 children and 2 adults were hurt in the fire.
They've now all been relocated into new apartments, and they need beds.
Through the Hope to Dream program, 26 beds will be delivered to families here at Callaway Cove Apartments. Take a look here. This is what 16 children will get, their own NFL Jaguars themed comforter set.
Today, we're just privately taking the beds into their homes. We're setting them up, and we know that they are extremely grateful.
And for the people who made it happen,
we just hope that maybe that's something really fun that they can enjoy and feel like they're getting something special and maybe make up in a small way for what they've been through.
Fusina tells me it cost around $18,000 to make it happen. Some families we talked to feel like Christmas came early for them. On the north side, I'm Jamarlo Phillips, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jags.
Live look now at TIAA Bank Field, where the Jags are looking to get back to work after dropping their season opener to the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 40-26. This just in, too, the Jags are trading for Pittsburgh backup quarterback Joshua Dobbs. They'll send a 2020 fifth-round draft pick to the Steelers for the former Tennessee Volunteers quarterback. Well, for some, the fans' loss yesterday to the Chiefs and an injury to quarterback Nick Foles weren't the only problems. The heat, too, was just too much yesterday afternoon. Inside the stadium, temperatures, as you see there, got to 120 degrees, even more than that. Action News Jax told you on Sunday when JFRD tweeted out 86 medical calls were made for heat-related issues. 18 people in total were taken to the hospital.
It's hot.
It's hot.
I am a little irritated about Jaguars losing today.
Well, we reached out to the Jags to ask them about the heat issue at TIAA Bank Field. Once we hear, we'll update you. Action News Jax, your official Jaguars stations, and tonight we're debuting a new show on CBS 47 called Jags Report. In this episode, the Action Sports Jax team will be joined by Jags receiver Chris Conley. You can check out the show and meet Chris yourself tonight at Topgolf. If you go to Topgolf too and tell them you're there to watch the show, Topgolf is offering a buy 1 hour, get an hour free bay. Good deal there. The show starts at 7 on CBS 47.
New at noon, this new footage here out of the Bahamas showing jet skiers going around and helping people trapped during Hurricane Dorian. CNN reports the group of jet skiers there, they saved around 100 people. Yeah, this is during the storm, you can tell. Among those saved was a pregnant woman and a baby. There are now 44 people confirmed dead from Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas. That number, though, is expected to rise. Cleanup efforts continue across Abaco and Grand Bahamas, too. Many locals are packing up and leaving, hoping to escape all of this. Experts say it will take at least 5 years and billions of dollars to bring these neighborhoods and businesses back to where they were.
In spite of everything, there's hope. You know, no matter how dark it is, no matter when I'm about to fall apart, I can look at this and realize that there's hope.
The Coast Guard is supporting the Bahamian National Emergency Management Agency and the Royal Bahamian Defense Force with search and rescue missions. Action News Jax teaming up with our partners, 104.5 WOKV, for a joint Bahamas relief effort. Here's where we can help. It's the Convoy of Care will be set up tomorrow at the roundabout near Maggiano's in the town center from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. We're collecting only the items on our list, and that includes water, baby supplies, hygiene products, flashlights and batteries, also dog food.
From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima. Another very hot day today, folks, but relief is on the way. That First Alert 7-day forecast is next. How cool the temperatures get, plus a couple areas I'm watching in the tropics.
A unique approach to combating South Florida's water crisis. Coming up, how a team of researchers are using hockey sticks to find a solution.
And we continue to follow that breaking news. Coast Guard working to rescue those 4 trapped crew members inside the Golden Ray cargo ship. They've already drilled a hole trying to get them out.
What to watch, brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
We are on top of breaking news right now. A live look here from Sky Action News Jax, where 4 crew members are trapped on this massive capsized cargo ship. They are alive. We learned that within the last hour. Coast Guard rescuers, they're on the ship. You can kind of see them down there. They're working to get them out right now. The Coast Guard confirmed they have made contact with them. They're okay. They just now have to figure out how to get them out of this ship. So stay with us. We have a maritime expert, 2 reporters at the scene right now giving you the very latest on this rescue mission.
New at noon, federal officials are issuing warrants to dig deeper into a horrific California boat fire that killed 34 people. Crews are looking into training, safety, and maintenance records at Truth Aquatics, as well as searching other boats belonging to the Santa Barbara Charter Boat and Scuba Company.
The police officers who stopped a mass shooter in Ohio will be honored today. The president will present them with the Medal of Valor at the White House. It's the highest decoration for bravery awarded to U.S. public safety officers. Action News Jax told you in August when officers stopped the shooter in a Dayton bar. Within 30 seconds, that shooter killed 9 people.
Right now, British Airways pilots are on strike over pay. The airline says it was forced to cancel nearly all of its flights because it had no way of knowing which pilots would show up. That strike mainly affects passengers in the UK at Heathrow Airport, but the company expects to see global operations take a hit. A pilot association is calling on the airline to pay its pilots more.
A group of researchers from Florida Gulf Coast University are using hockey sticks to combat a water crisis. So this program includes NHL Green and several other nationwide partners. They've already built more than 45 artificial reefs around South Florida. The hockey sticks are repurposed to help restore oyster habitats.
These Lincoln log structures tethered underneath our local docks, oysters are able to grow all over this vast area.
Well, the research team says each of the oysters that grows on an artificial reef can filter up to 50 gallons of water.
Now certified, Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
Look outside our First Alert Skycam network in St. Augustine. This on top of the White Room. A lot of blue sky. You can basically count the number of clouds that we got, at least in this view. I'm watching a cloud here block out some of the sun there along Avenida Menendez, and that's about it. There's the Matanzas River. Look at the American flag, too, pointing it to the west. That's an easterly onshore wind, 8 miles per hour, keeping St. Augustine in the upper 80s. It's a different story areas inland where we are going to climb back up into the middle to upper 90s this afternoon. I think we get hotter than 94 in Jacksonville, topping out around 97, 98 degrees. The record high today is 97, and our forecast ties that today. It's going to stay pretty hot all the way through the evening commute, but then we're going to have this weak sea breeze move in on that onshore wind. So this evening, those numbers are going to cool off at least decently, but it'll still be warm into the overnight and early tomorrow morning. So if you're trying to get out on the boat, maybe find some relief on the water or in the water. South-southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with those seas 2 to 3 feet. We just passed low tide. We got high tide coming up at 6:34 p.m. Those waves, they are pretty low, only at about 1 to 2 feet. We do have a moderate rip current risk out at area beaches with water temperatures in the middle 80s. 5-Sweep First Alert Doppler HD, not a drop of rain on it. There is an isolated shower threat later this afternoon and evening. I'm talking well inland southeast Georgia, west and north of Waycross and Blackshear. So it doesn't matter where you are, folks. Do not count on the rain today and don't count on it for a couple of days. We're always tracking the tropics here in the First Alert Weather Center. A few areas that we need to talk about. This is Gabrielle. Gabrielle is a tropical storm in the middle of the Atlantic, and it is moving to the northeast, away from the United States. Then we have these 2 tropical waves. You know, they are kind of in that area of interest, at least concerning Florida. This tropical wave here is headed toward the Caribbean. We're going to take a look at its spaghetti plots here in just a sec. That's Invest 94L. And then this one is not an Invest yet, but it's a tropical wave that is going to move toward the Bahamas. Looks like right now it's just going to enhance our rain threat for the weekend. So let's look at 94L though, because this one's been interesting for a while. Winds 30 miles per hour. It's moving west at 14. It's basically halfway between the West African coast and the Caribbean. It's still way out there, and look at what the spaghetti plots have it doing. It is tracking to the west and a little bit to the southwest, too. If this encounters land in South America, that's definitely going to do a number on it. But a lot of the long-range computer models do not have a hold on this. So we're going to keep a very close eye on it, obviously, concerning the Sunshine State in northeast Florida. But right now, looks like the only thing in our future in the First Alert 7-day forecast is just a little bit enhanced rain threat for the weekend concerning that other tropical wave. But we're always tracking the tropics. Do not forget, the peak of the hurricane season is tomorrow, September 10th. We're really just getting started here with this year's hurricane season. 97 degrees this afternoon, very hot still, and it's still going to be hot tomorrow. Tuesday, high 90 degrees. It's going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler. The humidity, that's going to start to pick up, especially as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, where those afternoon highs are actually normal. All the way through your weekend, which is always in view, just a slight uptick in that shower threat with a little bit of lightning and thunder. Remember, you can download the Action News Jax First Alert Weather app. It's the most accurate local forecast everywhere you go. And the one and only Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish coming up today at 5 on CBS 47.
And before we go to the break, another live look at the capsized cargo ship near St. Simon's Island. Before we do that, Google is striving to block fake companies on their site. How the company plans to rule out ads selling deceptive and dangerous medical treatments.
Creepy. The infamous clown prince of crime is back new at noon. The dramatic prequel of the Joker's story. Critics are saying it's no joke.
All right, as promised, let's give you another live look at that capsized cargo ship there in St. Simon's Sound there. You can see the the Air Force Coast Guard, rather, on top of that ship right now. It's kind of going in and out, but we see a couple of people on board that ship as well. And there's another shot here right next to the stern. They're apparently drilling some type of hole to get to those 4 remaining crew members that are still on board that ship. We understand that they are alive. All right, the new Joker movie took home the Best Film Award at the 2019 Venice International Film Festival. That movie is a prequel about the Batman villain, the Joker. He's a failed comedian now, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who falls into madness after he's physically and mentally beat down by society. That movie is set to be released on October 4th.
Okay, we will be monitoring this happening all throughout the day. Make sure you tune in on Action News Jax at 5 for this rescue mission. 4 crew members trapped on this massive cargo ship.
Hoping for some good news. Y&R is next.